Alright, hello boys and girls, moms and dads. Welcome to HeroesMart School Academy. This is 5th grade English, week number 16 and day number 1. And day number 1, as always, is going to be about reading and comprehension. So we get a chance to read certain texts, read certain passages or certain essays. And then we are going to try to answer a few questions right afterwards to measure our understanding of the text that we just read. And then right afterwards, we are going to build our vocabulary with new words that potentially we may not have heard of before. All right, so please go ahead and turn to page 92 of your workbook if you have it downloaded or you've purchased a copy of it. If not, you're welcome just to watch on the screen. The content's going to come in front of you as well. So without further ado, let's read week number 16, day number 1 of grade 5 English from HeroesMart School Academy today, which is titled, Teach Them to Pray.
Timothy was a curious and thoughtful child who loved to learn about the world around him. He would often ask his parents questions about life, death, and God. His parents were both faithful believers and taught Timothy about God's love and goodness. One day, Timothy's parents took him to the temple to pray. Timothy had never prayed before, and he was unsure of what to say or do. His parents explained to him that prayer is simply talking to God, sharing our thoughts, worries, and joys with Him. Timothy watched as his parents closed their eyes and bowed their heads, silently praying to God. He felt a sense of peace and comfort in the temple, surrounded by the gentle flicker of candles and the soft murmur of prayers. After they left the temple, Timothy asked his parents to teach him how to pray. They sat with him and helped him understand that prayer is a conversation with God, a way of expressing our love and gratitude for His blessings and seeking His guidance and help in times of need. From that day on, Timothy began to pray every day, thanking God for His blessings and asking for His help and guidance in his life. He learned that prayer was not just a religious duty, but a way of connecting with God and finding comfort and peace in His presence. Through Timothy's story, we see the importance of teaching children to pray and helping them develop a personal relationship with God. Prayer is a powerful tool that can bring us closer to God and help us navigate the challenges of life with faith and grace.
Alright, I believe you got a chance to read through day number 1 of week 16 together with us. So we're going to try to answer a few questions right now. Let's scroll over to page number 93 to answer a few questions. And the first question is, the author describes the child in this story as blank and blank. Well, that's a straightforward question. We're going to go back over here. Describes Timothy was a curious and thoughtful child. So that the answer over there is going to be curious and thoughtful. Okay, thoughtful. So you're going to use those two words to complete the blanks over there. Question number 2. Why was Timothy interested in prayer? Well, that's another good question, which is potentially like an inference kind of question. So you're going to go over there, say, so Timothy went to church with his parents, right? Then he watched as his parents closed their eyes and bowed their heads, and they were silently praying to God. He felt a sense of peace and comfort in the temple, surrounded by gentle flicker of candles and soft murmurs of prayer. And after they left the temple, Timothy asked his children to teach him how to pray. So did you see that Timothy's quest to want to learn how to pray is kind of connected to his experience when he went to the church and he saw people praying, and he felt a sense of peace and comfort in the temple as a consequence of that. So that's going to be the answer to the question. So the answer to the question is Timothy was curious to learn how to pray because he felt a sense of peace and a sense of comfort as he watched people pray in the church or in the temple. All right, so that's going to be the answer to that. So question number 3. Let's go over question number 3. What is prayer? Well, the author describes prayer in that text as a way to connect with God. It's a way of talking to God about anything on your heart. It's a way of telling God about the joys in your heart, the pain in your heart, whatever is going on in your heart, talking to God about it, having a conversation with God. That's what prayer is going to be all about. Well, what does the story teach us? Well, it teaches us especially that we can use prayers to connect with God. And then, more importantly, it teaches us that, well, we got to learn how to pray from our parents. Right? So if you have your mommy or your daddy over there, you're welcome to ask them, please teach me how to pray. And they are going to teach you how to do just that. All right, did you get something from it? All right, so let's go right now to the vocabulary building section of today's reading. We learn about new words that potentially you may not have heard of before. The word like curious, like thoughtful, faithful, unsure, murmur, conversation, navigate, flicker, duty, comfort. Well, let's speak the word navigate, which maybe you may not have heard of before over here. So navigate is going to be spelled like this. You go to your dictionary, you type in navigate, and then you're going to see the meaning of it. Well, navigate means to move on, over, or through, like in a ship or an aircraft. Well, that's one use of it, but it can mean to direct or to manage on its course. All right, it means to direct or to manage, something like that. So navigate. All right, let's hear it sounded.
Navigate. Navigate.
Okay, see navigate. All right, so the stress is going to be on the first syllable over here. Navigate. All right, the IPA version of it is going to look pretty much like that. All right, so please go ahead and do that for all the words over here. Words like flicker, you may not have heard of it before, but please go ahead and take advantage of that and use your dictionary. All right, so that's what I've got for you today, boys and girls. Remember, God cares about you, and so do we. Bye-bye.
I'll be your hero's buddy, and as you study with HeroesMart, I will be your friend. So don't you